you mentioned the enemy within. It's pretty clear, well, it's not clear, it's a fact that the CIA and the FBI, which are absolutely not allowed by law to have any influence in American politics, because that's the end of democracy, both of them and a bunch of other intel agencies worked against you on behalf of the Democratic Party from the minute you got elected in 2016. And they're still doing it. They're working against you now. What will you do about that?
So one thing I've learned in Washington, it's all people. You got to get the right people. So when I got elected, I was only, according to the fake news, which I think in this case it wasn't fake, they said I was here 17 times during the course of my life and I never stayed over. So I wasn't a Washington person. I was a New York person. I knew New York, but I didn't know Washington. And all of a sudden I'm the president of the United States. I'm saying, and I didn't know anybody. I said, hello, anybody? Does anybody would like to have dinner or something? But so I had to rely on rhinos and good people, too. Even some good rhinos, there aren't too many of them. They're sort of a dying breed right now, I would say, actually. But I had to rely on people that I didn't know to give me information. And I won't use any specifics, but I had some people in government with me, and I realized, and you know, they have pretty much different philosophies than I would have or than you would have. And for the most part, we had great people. I mean, we had great trade people. I had great military people. I had the real military, not the millies who's they're stupid people. Some of these people. By the way, every one of those people having to do with Afghanistan should be fired immediately. Every general should be fired immediately. You know, Biden doesn't fire anybody. That's why he never has books written about. Well, two reasons. Number one, nobody cares about him. It's not like, oh, let's write a book about Biden. Nobody cares. But the other thing is that I don't think he fired anybody. I don't think he's fired. I fired a lot of people. I didn't like people. I fired them. And then he immediately get called by the New York Times or somebody because they're they truly are the enemy of the people. They're the enemy of the people. Those people right there, not all of them, but about 91%, they're the enemy of the people. So they'll say, oh, he got fired, therefore And the interesting thing about firing people, you can fire them really nice, like I've taken months nice and easy, have lunch, let's think about it, In the end, they get fired, and then they wake up the next morning, that son of a bitch fired me, right? Or you can do like I did on The Apprentice, you're fired, get the hell out of here. Doesn't matter. When you fire somebody, you fire somebody. I've learned after years, you might as well just fire them. Then I do another thing. I say, and I wouldn't do that again, because I'm a nice person. I don't want to hurt somebody. I say, give me a letter. You know what that means? Give me a letter. I said, look, it's not working out. You're not the guy for me. Give me a letter of resignations. I say, give me a letter. Everyone knows what that means. So a guy will write a letter, dear. And then he'll say he quit. And that's okay. That's what the problem is when that happens with me, it's always a big story. So-and-so quits. Virtually every person that gave me a letter, I said, give me a letter. Virtually every person that quit, they only quit because I said, essentially, you're fired. Get the hell out of here.
So we were at a meeting here at TCN the other day, and I looked around the room, and every other person had a kind of ruddy vitality. Sort of pink cheeks, alertness, bright eyes, full mental acuity, and a cheerfulness you could almost smell. And I asked, why does everyone look so good? And part of the answer, of course, is they like what we do for a living. It's really interesting. We think it's important. But another reason everyone looks so good is because they'd all had a great night's sleep. I'm not making this up. Almost everybody here uses a new sleep technology from a company called 8 Sleep. They sent it to us, and everyone here loves it. It's called the Pod. It's a high-tech mattress cover, effectively, that you add to your existing bed. You don't need a new bed or anything like that. You just throw this over what you have. What it does is adjusts the temperature of your bed, warmer or cooler, depending on what you want. And it maintains an ideal sleeping environment all night long. So I didn't know this, but as you progress through different phases of sleep, your body's needs change. And 8 Sleep automatically keeps things exactly where they should be in the sweet spot through the entire night. It's been proven to increase the quality of your sleep, the amount you sleep every night. It improves your recovery time from physical exertion, and it may even improve your cognitive performance and enhance your overall health. It seems to be doing that in our office. So it learns and adapts to your sleep patterns over time and automatically adjusts the temperatures throughout the night through each phase of sleep. And it does this independently for each sleeper on either side of the bed. That's pretty cool. So you can sleep well and feel much better and be more effective the next morning as we are here. Try it for yourself. Go to 8sleep.com/Tucker. Use the promo code Tucker to get an extra $350 off the Pod 4 Ultra. You can try it with zero obligation for a month, and if you don't like it, just send it back. Again, that's 8sleep.com/Tucker. Better sleep today and look great in your morning meetings, as our guys do.
But I want to be nice because I'm not looking to fire somebody publicly. I wouldn't do that anymore. I'm just going to say if somebody doesn't work out, and no matter how good you are, you always have people that don't work out. It's interesting. Sometimes people, you think they're okay, maybe not so great, they turn out to be great. And sometimes you say, this guy is going to be phenomenal, and he turns out to be a stiff. But I had some people that were, like a guy like John Bolton. A friend of mine calls me after I put him on. He said, don't hire that guy. He's no good. He's bad news. He's dumb as a rock and all that stuff. I said, it's a problem, but I like him for a different reason. He's the one that got Bush, him and Cheney and a couple of other of these lunatics. They got them to go into the Middle East and to create war in the Middle East, to spend $9 trillion. Remember, I used to say, don't go into Iraq, but if you do go in, keep the oil. Well, they went in, but they didn't keep the oil. They didn't keep anything. You know, Iraq is a massive oil country. They have $400 billion right now. But I said, don't go in. But I said it as a civilian, so people cared because for whatever reason, I get a disproportionate amount of publicity. And someday he's going to explain to me why. Will you explain that to me? So even as a civilian, sort of, before I ran, but I'd be very much, involved with things and statements. They'd call and ask. But I said, don't go in. They went in. It was such a bad decision. So Bolton, see again, you get back. Bolton, a real dope. But I thought he'd be great because he was so stupid. He was like a boiler. Every time, if somebody shot down a little tiny crappy drone that cost about $15, he'd want to go to war with Russia. I said, no, he was great for me, though, for a period of time because he was a nut job, and everybody, I could see his face get red with that stupid white mustache, and he'd be ready to explode. And this was good for me. I went to Kim Jong-un in North Korea. I took this moron with me, and he never said anything. But when Kim Jong-un saw him, he said, oh, shit, I think the guy wants to go to war. So he was great for me to negotiate with. The same thing with Russia. You know, when Putin saw him, I'd be very nice. I'd say, hi, Vladimir, how you doing? And then Putin's, 2 rows back, and he'd see that moron, and he'd say, holy shit, this guy wants to go to war with me. And I got a lot of what I wanted. We killed, as you know, the Nord Stream 2. I killed Nord Stream 2. That's the other thing that's great. Their PR sense, their political sense, very interesting. They love to say that I was a friend of Russia, I worked for Russia, I was a Russian spy. These people are sick. The biggest job Russia ever had is Nord Stream 2. This is the biggest pipeline in the world. Goes from Russia to Germany and all over Europe. I killed it. Nobody would kill it but me. I stopped it. The thing was half built, dead. Then there's obviously, look, in all fairness to Biden, he was dumb 35 years ago. He was a dumb guy. It's true. It's true. But he comes in and he approves it, but he stops the Keystone Pipeline, which really we need. That's our pipeline. But think of it.
Wrong country.
Yeah, but think of it. It's rough. It's rough stuff. He I said, wait a minute, it's supposed to be the other way. Let Keystone go, but stop the Russian pipeline. And I went to the Germany and the different countries, but mostly Germany, and say, so let's get this straight. We're helping you and guarding you from Russia, but you're paying Russia billions of dollars a month for oil. How's that working? That's not working, dude. I mean, the whole concept. Anyway, I stopped it. And then I keep reading stories that, oh, I was a puppet for Russia. Putin actually said to me, if you're a puppet now, I'd hate to see if you were angry, because this was the biggest economic job. This was the most important thing that they probably had ever done, and I stopped it. It's all about the people, Tucker. If you have the right people, it goes beautifully. It's like in my real estate business. If I have a good building here and I have a good superintendent of the building, and that guy's doing a great job, and I've done it over the years with my father, would have a building and another building, and you'd have a great super here and a lousy super there. The one here, the building, everything was perfect. Over here, everything was crappy. That we have the. So now I say, let's take this super, move them over here. It worked beautifully for there, but not for there, because now all of a sudden that one doesn't. It's all about the people. You gotta put the people in.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.